Transformers Rise of the Beast didn't live up to studio expectations, being the lowest grossing Transformers movie from 7 installments. The movie was scored poorly by critics, but was received well by fans. The idea for Rise of the Beast was to kickstart a new trilogy of Transformers films, with Stephen Caple Jr. claiming it would be a reboot of the franchise. The inclusion of G.I. Joe only furthered a new direction being established, with character Noah Diaz being the bridge between the Joes and Transformers. When first announced, the new trilogy was welcomed by fans, expecting it to be built around Transformers, but the inclusion of G.I. Joe could make the idea very different. The trilogy could now consist of Rise of the Beast, a G.I. Joe film with reference of Transformers, and then a team up between the two. Combining two Hasbro IPs makes sense until you look into the poor track record of G.I. Joe in live action. In 2009, G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra grossed $302 million on a $175 million budget. That was followed by 2013's G.I. Joe Retaliation, grossing $375 million on a budget of $140 million. Both movies scored poorly with critics and fans, but the biggest drop-off was still to come, with Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins in 2021. Snake Eyes Origins grossed a grim $34 million
Sorry about that.
on an $88 million budget. The movie was panned by critics, but was slightly better received by fans. G.I. Joe has struggled to gain any traction for over a decade of live action. This new route might help G.I. Joe, but it might cheapen Transformers. This point was made by Michael Bay, who was asked to approve the crossover decision. Why Michael Bay is still being consulted on future decisions is beyond me, but in this instance, I'd agree with his cause for concern. The introduction of G.I. Joe wasn't welcomed with the same excitement as the announcement of a new trilogy. It also raises the question, what is this trilogy? Another question is who will be taking this trilogy forward? Will it be Stephen Caple Jr.? Or will it be Blue Beetle's Manuel Soto, who's been touted to be directing an untitled Transformers film? Manuel Soto has been quoted that his idea would create a very different Transformers film, an idea that Paramount wanted him to write and then direct. The post-credit of Rise of the Beast with Noah rebuilding Mirage could be a nod to that idea, with both actor and director of Puerto Rican descent. Noah never agreed to join the Joes right away, and that scene could be a hint of a Puerto Rican Transformers adventure. As of right now, we have more questions than answers, and perhaps the biggest question is, will the trilogy actually happen? Rise of the Beast performed poorly at the box office and failed to receive the same critical response as Transformers Bumblebee. This could cause some red flags at Paramount, and it's not uncommon for a studio to go back on commitments or pull plans entirely.
I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman.
Oh God.
If so, they may very well option for Manuel Soto to see if his idea gains a more favoured response. One thing Rise of the Beast did achieve is satisfaction with the fans. The movie has the highest fan score of all 7 films. Whether or not the fan score will be enough to continue with the trilogy remains to be seen, and what shape that trilogy will take is still unknown. Do you think the trilogy will still continue? And how will you see it taking shape, taking into account the performance of Rise of the Beast and the studio's decision to introduce G.I. Joe? Be sure to leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comments.